When you live in a different country than the one you were born into, your day begins before you wake up. The world you've left behind is now in another time zone. There's now double the news to check. And even though you know that the reality is amplified from afar, one bad news story from back home is enough to ruin your mood for the day. Sometimes, all it takes is a comment on what used to be your favorite Turkish website to remind you why you left. But you read it all the same. You might not be active on social media anymore, but home still gets its hooks into you through messaging apps. At mid-morning, with an 8-hour time difference, you can no longer pretend to be asleep to family and friends. And now that they know you're awake, you can be engaged in conversations that are either always important or trivial and instantly forgotten.
Abi ne bileyim yani öyle de olur ama yani bilmiyorum ki şey gibi de hissetmeyebilirsin yani. Bilemedim.
Or once again incomplete.
Efendim oğlum.
Baba, ya işle alakalı bir şey soracağım ya, müsait misin?
Still, you should only be so lucky to be able to instantly connect with people a world away. Even if, God forbid, in case of a health emergency, you know you cannot simply hop on a flight and be there in a few hours. Work distracts you from the guilt of your absence, as does trying to hold on to home through the diaspora. Through new friends who live down the street,
1-0 öndeler Erzurumspor deplasmanında. Elle oynama kararı diyor Gürcan Asova. Şanlıurfaspor'a verdi topu.
or old friends scattered around the world. And you're happy to be running these gaming sessions, if only to bring everyone together. But since it's nighttime for everybody else, you're the one who has to sacrifice an entire afternoon, and maybe even the rest of the day. When you're exhausted before the sun's gone down, you don't need that much of a social life. Still, you've made yourself a second home in North America. Maybe it's because you were connected to here even before you came, thanks to a globalized culture. But you've quickly realized that it will never be enough, no matter how much you connect. Growing up, you wanted to be a world citizen.
İstanbul Modern Sinema, Oscar heyecanı yaklaşırken...
You used to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch the Oscars. And now, here you are. You've transcended space and time. You're everywhere, all at once.
CBC Gem.
When you're reading at night in Montreal and listening to early morning radio in Istanbul on an app called Radio Garden, maybe you have to accept that your time will not line up with the rest of the world. And that you must find the sweet spot yourself. A time zone where you feel both lonely and special. But this feeling is not exclusive. You're not the only one who lives in multiple time zones anymore. Thanks to technology, distances have been closing for a long time, for a bigger part of the world. Until we all live everywhere, all the time.